Millions of seabirds of many different kinds throng colonies in northern Britain every summer. Largest of them all is the gannet, the biggest, heaviest seabird in the North Atlantic. Its natural elements are wind and water, and it passes from one to the other with a facility and a speed that few other creatures can match. One metre long from beak to tail, and nearly twice that span from wingtip to wingtip, the gannet can take the ocean in its glide. It's such a powerful flyer that heavy weather at sea causes it few problems, and it travels vast distances in search of fish. The wind is its ally, giving it lift. Sometimes the fishing is easy. A trawler may give a free handout, and seabirds flock to grab the spoils. Huge quantities of fish and offal are thrown overboard by fishing vessels every year, but very little of the discarded material is wasted. Most is snapped up by seabirds. They swallow what they can underwater. Weighed down by fish, takeoff can be tricky. But once a gannet is airborne, it travels fast. From tens of miles out to sea, it homes in on its colony. True seabirds only approach land to breed, and the largest concentrations of northern gannets in the world are in the western and northern islands of Scotland. It's still winter, and the islands are hauntingly quiet. The old nests are empty. Small, steep-sided islands where updraft gives lift and where good fishing grounds are within striking range are the typical colony sites. Frequent fly-pasts remind new arrivals of the lie of the land. The island is almost certainly the one on which they were hatched, but they haven't been here since last autumn. The new breeding season has begun. Coming ashore is a nuisance for these ocean travellers, but they must have dry land in order to deposit and incubate their eggs. The majority of seabirds breed in dense colonies, and they have necessarily developed complex signals to help them cope with social pressures. They know their own part of a colony intimately and can quickly recognize their mates and neighbors. And the social whirl has its own magnetism, luring more and more birds in from the ocean. Numbers keep building up until eventually the colony is full. nests are precisely placed, with their centres just over 3/4 of a metre apart. Mutual nibbling helps the pair to renew their acquaintance and cement their relationship for another year. These birds, which may have met as 4-year-olds and first nested together at 6, are likely to remain mated for life. That could be 20 years or more. So it's important that they feel at ease with each other. This they achieve by carefully observing the social niceties. Old acquaintances renewed, it's time to search below the cliffs for some fresh cushioning for the nest. Gathering this nest material is a job for the males, and they tackle it with gusto. The vegetation suffers a good deal, but it's spring and the leaves will soon grow again. Mud is needed to plaster the nest cup, where a single egg will be warmed by the parent's feet for 6 weeks. Nests stay intact from year to year, gradually getting bigger as new decorations are added. The distance between neighbours is just greater than the reach of their beaks, and that reduces aggression. Gannets are not at ease on land. They're more used to the space of the open ocean. Being tightly packed onto these rocks creates tensions, and sometimes nerves crack. As the birds battle past other nests, they risk further attack from neighbours. They're playing for high stakes. The prize is a nest site, an essential for luring and keeping a mate and rearing a chick. Fights can be bloody or even end in death. For the loser, the time for breeding this season has run out. It flies off to its natural refuge, the sea. Even in springtime, heavy weather can pound these remote islands. Gales can reach storm force with wind speeds of up to 60 knots. Many of the gannets are already brooding eggs and mustn't leave them no matter how unsteady their perch. Out at sea, others can ride the storm with ease. In fact, such weather gives northern seabirds a boost. It stirs the soup of food in the sea, adding to the effect of strong currents and upwellings at the edge of the continental shelf. The plankton and fish, which are helped by this marine mixing, are not evenly spread, So finding a shoal or another food patch may need a long journey. The gannets may fly great distances without finding a likely fishing spot. But the presence of other birds can narrow the search. The white plumage of an adult gannet can be seen from far away. Joining a fishing group can be to everyone's advantage, for when the birds dive in quick succession, the rapid-fire onslaught may help to break up the fish's defences. A diving gannet hits the water at 60 miles an hour. To withstand the impact, it has a thickened skull and chest sacs that act like airbags. Underwater, it can use its feet to propel it towards its prey. Auks, such as guillemots, have a different method. They use a flying motion underwater to push much deeper than gannets in search of small fry. They start their dives from the water surface. For the smallest seabird in the North Atlantic, the water surface itself is the dinner table. At 30 grams, the storm petrel is 100 times lighter than a gannet. This allows it to glide and flap quite slowly over the sea as it searches for patches of small shrimps and other plankton. Its table manners could hardly be more different from those of the swashbuckling gannet. Migrating shoals of fish often pass by the colony during the 2 months of summer. When a good food patch has been found, auks and gannets stream back and forth in flight lines that connect patch and colony, so navigation back to base is straightforward. As the season progresses, more birds are attracted to the colony and activity ashore gets more intense. The first chicks have hatched, and they're hungry. Dish of the day is tiny helpings of partly digested fish. Already, the chick has a hearty appetite. Colony life for the guillemots is much more frenetic. Their breeding tactic is to rear a chick as quickly as possible, then to coax it out to sea before it can fly, taking the youngster to the food rather than the other way round. Guillemots squeeze together on narrow ledges for their time ashore, pressed shoulder to shoulder with their neighbours. Everyone keeps an eye on everyone else. Razorbills space themselves more widely. Like guillemots, they eat small fish such as sand eels, and they take their chick out to sea when it's only 3 weeks old. Like the gannet and many other seabirds, these auks are long-lived. It takes them several years to find a mate and gain a space in a colony. So for them too, it makes sense to be considerate to their partners, which most of them will keep for life. Each year, in typical seabird fashion, they will try to rear just one chick. But they need to be vigilant. Away from their breeding ledges, auks can visit a nearby club. This rock is a meeting place for both adults and juveniles. Some female razorbills with long-term partners back on the cliff visit the club to seek matings with other males. Promiscuity would be harder on the ledges where males jealously guard their partners from such liaisons. In a less well-tenanted part of the colony, a guillemot is brooding its single egg. A herring gull is on patrol. It sees its chance. For one pair of guillemots, mating games are over for another year. Darkness comes late in the northern summer. The night shift is about to begin. The storm petrels flutter in by moonlight to the stones above their nest chambers. The night is alive with voices. Some birds have come to change places with their mates and take their turn at warming the egg. They find the entrance shaft to the underground chamber by sight, smell and sound. A petrel's egg is large and can withstand long periods of chilling without damage to the embryo. A lifesaver at times when the feeding is poor and both parents have to be absent. When the chick hatches, it will stay in this chamber, fed devotedly by its parents, until late autumn, when it will fly south to winter over warmer seas. But for now, its mother provides enough warmth for the growing embryo. The gannet chicks, taking their ease in the sunshine, have been growing fast. They gain weight at a phenomenal rate, especially in the first 2 months in the nest. By the time a chick is ready to leave, it will weigh half as much again as an adult. Sitting tight and letting the fat roll in may seem like an easy life. But quick growth means that chicks can often feel really hungry. Yet another fishing trip is needed to meet the youngsters' needs. But other eyes are watching the hard-pressed parents. A great skua is looking for a meal. And one stolen from a gannet would do nicely. The skua's wing shape gives it great agility in the air and makes it a formidable predator, pirate, and scavenger. The pirates battle for the booty. Having run the gauntlet and lost, the tired parent returns to the colony. Its chick is still hungry, but for now, it must be patient. For some, the chick's sheer size can make relaxation difficult. But relief comes at last. Some shoals of fish have swum close to the shore. And the gannets are quick to spot them. The catch is quickly appreciated. But for the oldest chicks, it's time to stop thinking about food. Throughout their entire life so far, one or both parents have always been with them, watching, feeding, guarding, and cosseting. They've been exercising their wings for many weeks in order to make them strong. Now it's time to limber up for a change of scene. The lure of the sea is powerful, and the chick stares out as if mesmerized. Moving past adults is dangerous, They could attack and injure the chick, but that risk is not enough to deflect it from its purpose. It reaches the edge of the cliff and a drop of 500 feet. Another fledgling summons up courage. Almost immediately, it washes, a baptism to mark the next stage of its life. That could be a short one. If it doesn't learn how to catch food before its fat reserves are gone, it will die. But when the survivors return again in a few years' time, their transformation from unsteady youngsters to confident adults will be complete. A new band of seafarers will swell the ranks, ready for the storms and rising to the challenge of the ocean.